Yeah, excuse you. Well, good morning, lug nuts.
Howdy.
I have lug nut number 1 here with me. You met him in the last video where, well, maybe not the last video, the
It's like
Impala
a
in
video
a box.
Yeah, Impala in a box.
Met him in Impala in a box. This is Bo, my oldest son, by about, excuse me.
They got words they want to say with it.
He's older by about 45 seconds. And so, you know,
Give or take.
give or take. So today we're going to be doing something a little different. As I said in my last update video, we live out on some property and we've got chickens, and they're going to chime in on today's video and tell us how we're doing. They're our supervisors. You know,
It's far too hot for Safety Man
yeah,
Goose.
Safety Man Goose. It's a little too hot for Safety Man Goose, so we've got Safety Man chickens. And speaking of chickens, today we are going to make solar powered chickens.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're going to solar power these
We're going to
chickens?
solar power our chicken. You agree?
Hell
Good.
yeah.
So we're going to solar power our chickens today. And, you know, basically it gets a little hot down here, as we talked about with Safety Man Goose. So one of the things we want to do is we need, you know, usually we need lights out here because chickens like a certain amount of light in the wintertime and stuff like that to keep them laying. The other thing is we want to run a fan out here, and this is actually going to be kind of a test run for our pond project. I'd like to, that's going to go on all day, so y'all may as well get used to it now. This is a test run for running solar to run our pond project, because in our pond project we'll have an aerator, we'll have a pump for the water feature, stuff like that, and I don't want to pipe electricity all the way out to the pond. I don't want to pipe electricity all the way out to the chicken coop. So we picked up a eco-worthy 200-watt solar system with a lithium-ion battery, 600-watt inverter, and a 30-amp charge controller. And we are going to use that to set up power out here so that we can run, for right now, a fan, but eventually we'll run lights and stuff like that out there. Now, we've already ordered the fan. It'll be here from Amazon probably Friday.
Something like that.
So, and we did order this off of Amazon. Understand, I am not sponsored by EcoWorthy at all. Maybe they'll see this and like what I'm doing, and maybe they want to sponsor me for when we do the pond project, because it'll be a whole lot bigger. But for now, I paid for all of this stuff, so there's no paid advertisement, and we're going to go from there. So out here, it's about what, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning now?
It's about 8:09.
It's about 8:09 in the morning. This is due east right here, and so what we want to do is we want to take advantage of as much sunlight as possible. So rather than face these at an angle or anything like that, I'm going to lay them flat. But I'm going to lay them flat coming off of the edge of the run so that we can get sunlight all the way until about 4 or so in the afternoon when the sun gets on the other side of the house. So we should be getting at least reasonable sunlight starting as early as 7 a.m. and getting it reasonable sunlight as late as 4 p.m. But in the middle of the day, come about, now, 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, we'll be getting hardcore sun. So we're going to check that. I'll pull my meter out and we'll kind of see what we're getting at different times of the day and go from there. But first things first, we have to mount the solar panels. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go off into the shop and we're going to cut our braces for the mounting panels. And then we're going to come out here and we're going to put them back together. All right, lug nuts. Well, in order to mount our solar panels, we've got us some galvanized unistrut here. We just picked up at the old local Home Depot. And we're going to cut these down to length. I pre-measured this out, so we're going to do them at about 40 inches. And we're going to do 3 of them since we're running 2 separate solar panels. There'll be one that runs down the middle that both of them mount to, and you'll have one on each end. Those will mount to unistrut that is sunk into the ground and give us a level, flat mounting surface for our panels. So that being said, let me go ahead and cut these down, and we need 3 of them at 40 inches. Get our trusty dusty marker here. So we're at 40 there. And then we're going to go to oh, safety third. We need glasses. One. And 2. We will set this piece aside. And 3. So now we have, or should have, 3 relatively equal length braces for our solar panels. All right, let's get them mounted. We'll come back later and we'll cut this down to the height that we need for the side pieces, or for the ground mounts. All right, and we're back with 3 40-inch panels, as we talked about when I was cutting them. Now this is galvanized unistrut, so it should be pretty impervious to weather, and if it rusts, well, it's not the end of the world. We can replace it later. So first things first, we're going to pull out our panels. We're going to get our bracketry and all of our hardware out. Now, EcoWorthy does come with brackets for each of the panels. They have these cool little L brackets and the hardware, some of which we will not use, some of which we will use. So we've got cool little hardware right there. Probably going to have to get some of our own hardware to finish this up, but for now we're going to put these on our solar panels. So
what do we need for that?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. That's the size that we're using.
$5 is 10 mil.
I'm not going to take that bet, because I'd be willing to bet that you are correct, sir. Oh, you know what?
Oh.
Yeah, it might be 10.
Could be.
Could be.
Wait. Let's go. Alright. 10 mil socket. How did I know I was right? How did I know I was right?
Because this stuff's made in China, and everything that comes out of China is 10 millimeters.
Yep, that's fair.
That's kind of how that works. Hey, one thing we got to look out for while we're out here are ants and skeeters. So you take one panel, I'll take the other.
Okay.
So
I sprayed myself down with off.
So when we're doing this, we want to be careful not to damage the faces of the panels. So we're going to be very, very careful as we do that. So.
I think we only have one 10 mil sock. Wait, no.
No.
You get two. Merry Christmas. There's another one right there.
There's a long one right there.
How are these? So how do these, like,
Here.
this?
Do you have the 1/4 inch? Or you have the 3/8? You have the 3/8. I'm going to get the 1/4.
Okay.
All right. So the way these things are going to go, okay, is you've got a single hole. Okay. We need to mount them like this.
Oh,
see how
on the single hole.
on the single hole.
Gotcha.
So you're just going to want to start them by hand.
Yeah. Are you running the bolt into or out of?
I would come up from the bottom with the bolt.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? We may need washers. Hold up.
Well, you have flange nut, no?
Look how small it is.
Oh, weird.
It's going to walk around.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, if you get it tight enough, I don't think it'll be a problem.
You know, I don't like that. We're going to get some washers. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab some hardware.
There's only 4 of these. Nuh-uh. Where at? Where at? Because I got 4. I'm just... Don't listen to me. Don't talk to me.
Huh?
Don't look at me. I don't want to hear it.
No. Let me put my mic back on. All right. So now we have an assortment. Do we remember what I said about being careful with the panels?
We're fine.
Okay. Oh, this thing is
telling me that
broken.
he's pissed off with it.
All right, so we have our bolt assortment here. It's got washers in it. So we want to find the washers that we need.
How do you propose? Ugh. How do you propose we put these on while being careful with the panel?
Carefully.
Like, you probably don't want me facing this downward, eh?
No, it's fine. I just don't want it. The face of the panel is what we got to be careful
Yeah,
with.
you don't want the face of the panel on the floor, right?
Right, we don't want the face of the panel on the floor. See, I don't like that. Okay, guys, first things first, with the eco-worthy stuff. This is too small to go through this. So we will change up a little bit. We are going to use shoulder bolts. So now I'm going to grab our struts. Figure out the best way to do this. Set this panel up here like this.
How are we mounting that on there, Pops?
That's what I'm figuring out right this second, son. To do. May have to do a little washer stacking.
And that's oh shit certified.
Goddamn right. All right.
So I don't see any problems foreseeing in our future with that one.
No, it'll be fine. All right.
You using what on the what with the what?
Hold on. We're gonna have to do these just kind of one at a time here. And we're gonna kind of
have a hole over here.
Huh? I'm only gonna do the 2.
Oh. Okay. That's a choice.
It's a bolt choice.
A bolt choice.
Bolt choice. See what you did there? I see how you did that. All right, I'm not going to completely tighten these because I want to be able to move them. So you come through with the bolt. You come through, hold on. Come through with a little washer. Then we come through with a big washer. Then we put the shoulder bolt on. I didn't tighten it super tight. Why?
So you can still shift it back and forth.
We can move it back and forth so that we can get them all even.
Yeah.
So now comes the fun part. We may have to do this part on the ground.
Yep. That's what I'm thinking. Do you just want to go ahead and connect?
Go ahead and put the
middle,
let's connect them in the middle in a second. So let's do this. So we're doing less on the ground as possible. So bring me the other panel. So, all right, same bat time, same bat channel.
Okay.
Oh, you know what I did?
What?
I put that on the wrong side.
How so? Oh, this one or that one?
Either one.
Oh.
Let's do that over.
Are you sure?
Yep. Would you like me to tell you why? I'm trying to keep both of these at the same end.
That's, yeah. I was like, I knew that was why. I just couldn't decipher.
Couldn't see it.
I just couldn't decipher it, you know. The critical thinking skills are slow to start this morning.
That's what makes me the master rig master. Where I just can rig anything to make it work.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
Mm-hmm. So you excited about next week?
Yeah. Gonna be a lot of fun.
I think so.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Oh, for those of you who don't know, we're taking the Lugnut twins and their significant others to Las Vegas as a 21st birthday present. Here, hold that.
Yeah. We're gonna go to Vegas. It's gonna be fun.
We're gonna lose a bunch of money.
Yeah. Oh, Speed Vegas.
Yep.
We're gonna go do Speed Vegas. We're gonna drive really nice, expensive cars, I guess. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
As far as I know, we are.
Yeah, get some of the Meta Ray-Bans sunglasses. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you're gonna go all straight douchebag then, are you?
Yeah, sure, why not? I can't wear
What are you doing?
Oh, I can't do the...
You expect me to do all this shit myself?
Uh-huh.
Why? Do I have to do everything? I thought of this idea.
Yeah. And, oh, damn. That's why you do everything, because I drop shit. I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, the Ray-Ban smart glasses would be really cool until I realized the fact I wear glasses.
Yeah.
And they're already like $300, $400 for just the electronic glasses.
What good do those things do? What
you're able to like record like a POV.
Okay, I see
It's
that.
like a GoPro except more discreet.
Okay. Okay. Well, so it's a recording device.
Yeah.
I was thinking they were like smart glasses that you could see in the
no
and catch your email up in the corner and
I wish that would be really cool. I want those. The time those come out, I'm getting a pair. I don't care how much they cost. I want them.
Okay. Well, save your money, doctor.
Uh-huh. So, are we stacking them on top of each other?
Yes. That's the cool part of this. That's the beauty of this.
So
go get us a setup. And we've got to figure out that I think we have to lay these down. Because that's the only way we're going to get them straight.
Yeah.
So
here, lay
that
long ways.
Horizontal, yeah.
And then you can just lay them halfway on. Do you want the long bolts for this or the ones we've been using?
No, we can use the ones we've been using. We have plenty of room.
Yeah, we're starting to run out of those, but
we'll come back and tighten those up in a minute.
All right.
Okay, now figure out how to get this seated.
Even, yeah.
Yeah, except for. All right. So we're kind of hand tight here. Oddly enough, these look relatively even.
I mean, as far as like lengthwise, they're on the same axis, I guess. So.
Oh. So now. Let's get the. I mean, well, this one's out a little bit. Now, once again, this is for a chicken coop.
Doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work.
It's good enough for who it's for.
Chickens deserve everything.
All right.
They deserve the best that we can offer for them.
So now, what we're going to do.
How are we putting that up there?
I'll show you. This. We're going to get the, I'm going to go cut the rest of the unistrut to whatever height we need and sink the unistrut in here. Kind of like we do with the T-poles.
Okay.
Sink the unistrut, and then we're good.
You're blocking the camera.
Oh, I know. Go figure that.
Well,
here, I just need these 3 for right now.
yeah.
We gotta figure out the best way to do this. All right, so we're gonna come.
Do you want it on the outermost corner?
Yeah, we're gonna put it just on that end.
So, because
well, not. I mean, we can come in a little bit, but look, we're gonna come in just like this. Okay. And okay, I need you.
Well,
this is gonna suck for a minute.
Yeah. Do we have like a?
No, you're going the wrong way. Yeah.
Someone or something to hold it up while we do this, because we need
like 3 sets of hands.
Yeah.
Think Mama Lugnut would be? We might have to do that part off camera.
Hey, Madre.
Come here. We're gonna need your help. All right, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna get Mama Lugnut's help. She's not interested in being on camera today, so. All right, so we're back after a little bit of modification. That's the thing about projects, is you always got to be willing to modify. You got to be able to change your plan. So we're going to change. We've changed our plan a little bit. So now, well, I'm not worried about that right now, but about length on that. What we need is, we need these L brackets. We need to bolt them into here. Oh, so we've got it U-bolted to the cage already, to the chicken coop. Okay. Okay. Hold those. Give me one. So this is going to go in here, bub.
Yeah.
And we need to run 2 bolts.
Well, that works out perfect.
Yep.
And we're gonna need bigger ratchet for that. But...
well, that's fine, but as long as we can get them all in there and get them started, we're good. So let's do that 3 times.
Okay.
6 total.
Probably not.
Here, grab me those. See those pieces of blocks of redwood right there?
I was gonna say rest on the wheelbarrow.
Well, that's about right. Look at that.
Well,
look at there.
Shit.
That helps out drastically.
That actually looks a lot better because it matches the damn.
Well, but that's not going to work for us for doing that. We need to secure it because the wind will get to it.
And here comes Father now. Hello, Father.
Hello, son.
You found shorter ones?
I most certainly did.
Yippee. Oh, joyous day. I get to drive more T-posts into the ground.
You're the one that wants to work out all the time.
Yeah, well. Is that how we're doing that?
Yep.
You know, it's a very ingenious machine. Just a tube with handles on it.
Yep.
That weighs 20 pounds, so you can drive it into the ground. You know, because people back then probably were just hammering it down and shit. Now, you don't got to do that. You know why?
Because somebody came up with a T-post hammer.
Yeah.
Wow, this is not going to work out the way I wanted it to at all.
Yeah, I don't really understand what your plan was here, bud.
Well, originally, the plan was that we were going to be using this stuff everywhere. So I was going to be able to just bolt it in and bolt it in. But that didn't work out.
Well,
all right, let's do this.
Now we run the problem of not long enough U-bolts.
Well, now, yeah, we run into all kinds of problems.
And then you won't be able to
stretch,
and then the bracket won't be able to fit if you stretch them, bud. Nope, it's not wide enough to go around the T-post. So you either A, have to get bigger U-bolts. Well, this one in and of itself is going to be not fun because it's so far away.
Well, I mean, but that'll kind of help hold it in tight.
So you need bigger U-bolts, is what I'm hearing. Unless you want to take old Mr. Angle Grinder back down to the T-posts.
Can we do that?
Theoretically, you could do whatever you want.
Well, my problem though is that I don't want this sliding up and down this.
Yeah, which means you need to have a secure, meaning it has
Well,
to come
it's going to have to come in over one of those.
Yeah.
So that it can't slide down.
But
All
in
right,
general, if this has to go around like this, or alternatively, this has to go around this. No, well, regardless, Dad, this isn't going around that.
That's true.
Just get like the one size up U-bolt.
Well, because that means I got to go back to the hardware store.
What's a project if you don't go back to Home Depot, you know?
New idea.
Oh, joyous.
Be right back.
The hell is that? What's your grand plan here?
We're going to drill a bolt hole.
Oh. Joyous.
Listen, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it.
So first, hey, tell me your plan.
So my plan is come in here. We're going to put this like that. I'm going to drill right through here. All right.
How wonderful.
Oh, that's warm.
Yeah, hey, so whenever you drill into metal, something rotates a lot. It creates friction, which creates heat. So that's why that's hot.
Huh. Did you learn that in your biochem class?
Organic chemistry.
Oh, yeah, organic chemistry.
You guys keep getting it wrong. Biochem's the class I have to take. OChem is the one I'm currently taking. You just want to use me for the heavy, intensive manual labor.
Well, yeah. Duh. All right, so we clip these in. And now,
I don't think they can see that.
We have paralleled. So these panels come with, they're 12 volt panels. So 100 watt panels, 12 volts. So they come with these little Y splitters. And what you want to do is you want to connect the two panels together in parallel. So you basically take all 200 watts and convert it to tie them together so that you're outputting 12 volts of electricity to your charge controller. Because your charge controller, your whole system will operate off of 12 volts. It's what the battery is, it's what everything is. From that 12 volts, you're going to run out to an inverter. The inverter will take that 12 volts and turn it into 120 volts alternating current so that you can run your everyday appliances off of it. So, that being said, I need clippers. We have zip ties in here somewhere.
Yep, up there.
We'll need those. We will need a screwdriver, which we may have in there.
Yes. I can make a screwdriver happen.
Yeah, that's a really messed up deal. So, all right, let's come right back. We're going to be right back. We're going to go grab a few more tools and some zip ties and get everything cleaned up and kind of grab my multimeter so I can show you kind of what we're putting out for voltage right now. So, be right back. All right, guys, we're back. We've got some more utensils. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hook up our panels, and we're going to test and see what kind of, make sure we're getting electricity out of them. So these kits come with cable, probably more than you need, and they come with specific clips for positive and negative. Assuming that our panels work, we should be getting voltage across here. And we're going to pick up this little stuff here because we don't want the chickens to get it into it when they're free ranging. Of course, they're going to come over and see what we're doing because they're nosy like that. So right now, we should be getting DC voltage. So we set our multimeter to DC voltage. We grab our negative side. We grab our positive side. And right now, we are getting 20 volts of electricity. Getting 20 volts, 19.8 volts of DC voltage from our panels right now. That's pretty awesome. So, with that being said, you turn that off. Now, these are live. They're live 12 volts, so you probably don't want to short across them. So what we're going to do for now is we're going to disconnect one of them so that we don't have a full live circuit. All right, so what we've done here is we have created essentially a dry box. Now this is all temporary, guys. This is not permanent fix. This is just to test the concept so that when we do the pond project, we'll know what we're working with here. Plain old Home Depot storage container with a lid, so it should be relatively waterproof, especially given that we've got it underneath these. So that should help protect it. We took a outdoor box, screwed it to the side. It's got a cover that clips in to make it waterproof, and then we've got a hole in here. So all of this stuff will end up coming through here. And yes, we have a ton of extra wire, and no, I'm not going to cut it off right now because I don't know for sure where all this is going to land. So that being said, we're just going to go ahead and pull stuff through for right now and get it wired up. All right. That's what zip ties are for. We'll coil all this stuff up in here. Now remember, I did disconnect the positive side, so we don't have to worry about anything shorting out right now. So let's go get our charge controller. Hi, you gonna help? You gonna help me? All right, so this is our charge controller from EcoWorthy. This is their little 30 amp unit. What this will do is this will take power in from the solar panels and send it out, monitor it, and meter the battery so that the battery stays charged all the time. It basically controls how well these things charge. So you want to make sure that you get this stuff set up right. We're getting chicken help. We're getting some supervision. We're getting some adult supervision over here. And then we will get our positive terminal hooked up. You agree? Good to know. All right, so with that being hooked up, well, we don't run the risk of shorting anything. Let's plug our positive side back in. All right. And right now we're getting solar power, and it's managing a charge at about 14.3 volts. I don't know if you can see that from the camera, but we're getting about 14.3 volts. 14.4 out of the charge controller. All right, so the next object that we put in here is our EcoWorthy battery. So the battery, we cut ourselves. This is a lithium-ion battery. It is designed to be charged and discharged repeatedly. So we got nothing to worry about there. It's what it was designed for. So we're going to grab some terminals, some clippers, and some battery lugs. Now, we know that the charge controller is now outputting voltage. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect it just so we don't have to worry about anything short. So with this, for whatever reason, they sent us two just black cables for the battery. So we're just going to do these one at a time. We're going to attached to our positive. We're going to take a red spade connector. Put our red spade connector on. And we're going to go ahead and hook up to the positive terminal on the output from the charge controller. All right, so there's the positive side. Where'd our other cable go? Oh, where'd we put it? There it is. Oh, right off the side. All right, so now let's go ahead and hook up this negative. Now, at the end of the day, we're going to hook up our inverter and we'll retie it into these. That's why we're not tightening those up too tight right now. All right, and we know that our battery is now hooked up at 13.2 volts is what the battery shows. Now I know that this battery is only about 35%. We're getting 0 amps out of the sun. Why? Because we're disconnected. Let's plug this back in and begin charging our battery. All right, we are charging at 7.5 amps. We are now generating 7 amps of electricity right now. All right, at 13.4 volts. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we now have solar power. Imagine that. All right, so the next piece of the puzzle is our inverter. Now, as I stated earlier, what an inverter does is it connects to the battery. It's this piece right here. You connect positive and negative from the battery, and it will convert to AC output. Now, this is a 600 watt pure sine wave inverter. Now, if you're running any kind of real electrical components, you want to use a pure sine wave inverter. It means there's no real output fluctuations. Now, you're going to get less power, but it's going to be stable power. So in this situation, we're just going to be running a fan for these chickens for right now. We'll be running a timer with some lights later. Now, this system comes with an inline fuse. So that's always a good thing, so that if something happens to this thing and it shorts, it doesn't burn up our battery. So let's hook it up. So when I started this thing, now here's the cool part about this particular battery from EcoSmart is it is Bluetooth. It has built-in Bluetooth. So you can monitor, through their app, you can monitor what your voltage is on this thing. And they come with this cool little wrench that works on the battery. So that, yes, I know this is not wiring greatness. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, but understand that this is a temporary setup. All right, battery is hooked up. Now, we switch on the old inverter. It fires up and begins making power. Ta-da! And this inverter, just sitting alone, we're getting 8.2 amps to the battery, 8.3 with the sun where we're at. And we're getting a power draw. We're getting no power draw because the inverter is not on. Well, it's on, but it's not pulling any electricity. So now all we'd have to do is plug into this fan, plug a fan in right here, and we could run a fan out here for our chickens. So let's do a little wire management. This thing does come with a remote switch for permanent powering the inverter on and off. We're going to plug it in make sure that it is on, just in case it's necessary. All right, so I know it's not the prettiest setup, but for what we're doing, it'll work. It's set up to where we can run a fan for our chickens. Snap our little dry box cover on, click it into place, and we're done. All right, lug nuts. Well, hope you've enjoyed this video. It is a little different than working on cars, but it's still mechanically inclined. So, you know, we had to use a little ingenuity. Had to think on our feet, just like you have to do when you're building anything. Nothing ever goes perfect. Nothing's ever 100% right. Nothing ever works right out of the box the way it's supposed to. So, trick is never stop thinking, never give up. So, with that being said, I'm gonna sign off. We've now solar powered our chickens. We're waiting on a fan to come in so that we can run the fan for them and keep them cooler, help give them a place to cool off out here because it is hot. Yes, sir, I understand, Rudy. I get it. So, with that being said, lug nuts, I thank you for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. Have a good day.